Hi everyone, very good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to all are joining us globally. Yes, I am Parthuru, Events and Program Manager for Microsoft Reactor India, and yes, I welcome you all to yet another episode of Copilot Chronicles. But before we start our today's event, let's go through our code of conduct. We are all here to learn together, participate together. So please be respectful of other people's views, understanding their differences. Be kind and considerate in a way we all engage. Yes, we do encourage you all to participate. Please drop all your questions in the comment section and we'll pick it up from there. And yes, now I would like to invite our speaker for Copilot Chronicles. It's Shrushti Shah. Unfortunately, we don't have Kamal joining us today. She has some emergency come down. So yes, hey Shrushti, hi, how you doing?
Hey, hi, Parth. I'm doing good. How about you?
All great, all good, all perfect. So yes, Shrushti, let's begin, and the floor is all yours.
Thank you so much, Parth. Before I get started, I would like to give a shout out to the Reactor team, including Rashmita, Parth, and also Kamal Shree. She has been running this Copilot Chronicles for quite, I think she ran this with some different context some time back. And again, she has come back with Copilot Chronicles, some prompts, some samples around M365 Copilot. I hope you all are very keen in understanding Copilot and its business scenarios wherever it fits the best. So, one such topic I have come up with today is generating business ready documents with Copilot in Word. Now, specifically, why just this topic? While I could have uh, chosen something else, but I thought maybe many a times we are so intact or so attached to using the productivity tools like Word, PowerPoint, Excel. Then let's just pick something up which can be helpful for the whole audience and not just someone who comes from the high tech, but also from the different varieties of flavors, like be it from recruitment, be it student or teacher or anyone, right? You can go ahead and use this. While this business ready documents is just in a scenario, maybe you have any documents, you can take that and you can work with Copilot. So that is what we are going to do today. Our main focus will be Copilot in Word. But if you have any questions around Copilot in any of the productivity tools or M365 Copilot, feel free to drop in the chat. Maybe I can answer it at the end. Before I run down the agenda, which is like really short and crisp, because I always try to run through this, that hey, we all have read some or the other things about Copilot, or we have read some blogs, we have seen something, but we want to watch something live and don't want to show something which is recorded, etc. So I always keep my presentations very short and crisp so that you get to see everything which is live and where I straight away go and type in the prompts and we see the results, etc. So, a short introduction about myself. I am Shrushti Shah and I am working as a technical consultant at Rapid Circle. I am an MVP in Microsoft 365 and business applications category. That is about me. While I have more than 7 years of work experience, I have explored all the flavors of Microsoft in terms of Microsoft 365 tech, Azure, Power Platform. So, you name it, probably I would have worked on some of the other bits of it. The agenda. Let's come to it. What exactly is Microsoft 365 Copilot? I have just kept few slides to give an overview so that we all are on the same page and we just don't drill down to Copilot in Word and we start using it. While keeping the audience in mind, I have just added a small overview section about M365 Copilot. We'll take a look at it and how that Copilot can act as your assistant. Definitely by the name, Copilot is a co-pilot wherein it helps you in assisting in some or the other manner, either it is productivity, creativity, or customizing your day-to-day activities. So that is Copilot. It is not definitely a pilot, wherein it doesn't have any authorization or authorized actions it can take. You are the commander, you have to drive it, and then Copilot can just give you the responses or some information, suggestions based on whatever prompts you're typing in. We'll see that. We'll see how you can use Copilot in Word in different flavors. When I say different flavors, it means you can draft with Copilot, you can transform with Copilot, and chat with Copilot. Also, we'll see some cool prompt ideas wherein you can go ahead and straight away use it. And if you are not very confident that, hey, I don't know how to draft a prompt, I need some suggestions, I need some ideas, then we'll see how we can go ahead and use the Copilot lab. If you have already seen, then feel free to go ahead and use those already existing prompts. But these Copilot prompt ideas are just sample ones. You have to tweak in and make some changes according to your scenario. Again, why this session was conducted, because I wanted to demonstrate business ready documents generation. When I say business ready, it can be either proposals or your business requirement documents or anything. If you want to generate any business requirement documents, how you can go ahead and make the use of Copilot in Word, and you can use Copilot to get that for you, that get the information, which is generation of document for you. And if you already have started using prompts or Copilot, and you explored some flavors of Copilot either in Teams or Word or PowerPoint or Excel or in any services for that matter, you can go ahead and also contribute your prompts. So what we ideally do is, prompts is not that something which is restricted just to yourself, right? Whenever you find some prompt which gave you the correct results, and why not share it with the larger audience? Maybe some other person finds it useful and they can use it right away. So why not you go ahead and contribute it? So we'll see how you, if you have any samples, or if you're looking forward to contribute, you can contribute to the prompt sample. Okay, before we drill down to the demonstration and we perform live, smaller uh, slides which I have for you. While we continue to the introduction to M365 Copilot, I want to just touch upon that what exactly is Copilot for Microsoft 365 and how this Copilot is different than the other Copilots. So Microsoft has a lot of Copilots. You can find Copilot in Binge, Copilot in M365, Copilot in Power Platform, and a lot of other flavors like Copilot for security, GitHub Copilot. There are a lot of Copilots which you keep on hearing like every other day now, right? For the past 1 year. How M365 has different Copilot and what exactly is the difference? So when I say Microsoft 365 Copilot, you can find this Copilot across productivity tools. And when I say productivity tools, those are your Word, Excel, PowerPoint, Outlook, Teams, Loop, OneNote, Stream. All these comes under the umbrella of Microsoft 365. So if you purchase a license of Copilot for Microsoft 365, that is per user based, you get to see the Copilot experience across all the apps and services which falls under Microsoft 365. Now this covers, right, your Copilot for Microsoft 365. Now how different it is from my normal Copilot, which you see it either in Binge or when you type in the Chrome copilot.microsoft.com. You see a web application. Also, you have installed Copilot. You might have installed Copilot in your phone or mobile, anywhere. Then you see that Copilot, how it is different than this one. So when you go to the Copilot experience, either in your web browser or in your mobile, I am talking about Copilot, not Copilot for Microsoft 365. If you already have the license of Copilot for M365, then you will see a toggle button which will say Web and Work. Web is the, if you don't have the license, then you will never find the toggle button. Let me just go ahead and show it to you so that you and we are all in the same page. I am into my copilot.microsoft.com experience, and here what you see is, this is what we ideally use. And this exact flavor you find it in your Edge browser as well, and also in your mobile applications you can download Copilot. Either it is your Google or Apple, anyone, you can just download it anywhere. This is what I was talking about. This Copilot experience will have the toggle button, work and web. Now, what difference this makes? When I have toggled this to web, that means whatever I type in or whatever I query, this is the prompt box. This is where the magic happens. So let's say I need some information about Microsoft 365 Copilot. I need to draft a proposal for a customer. Kindly help me to draft a short or small proposal. So let's hit enter and see the difference. What I'm doing here is, I have given the simplest prompt that, hey, I need some information around M365 Copilot, and I'm providing more context. Why do I need that information? Because I want to take that content, use it in the proposal for one of the customers, and please generate a draft for me. Now, when I'm doing that, you see that I have turned on the web, right? From where is it going to get the data? So wherever you see the references, these are the references which are readily or easily available on internet. These are the public references. Now, let's say I already had a proposal which was created for my organization, and it is sitting in my tenant OneDrive, etc. And I would have switched this toggle to work. This would have taken the reference from my files, which is residing in my tenant, and drafted the proposal for me. This is the difference between work and web. Web, whenever you toggle that on, whatever you type in, either you generate some content, either you search something, or either you are, let's say, you can't catch up because you can only get some information, generate something on images or content. But let's say I want to catch up that, hey, did I miss any Outlook emails? Or what was the meeting about? Can you just give me the summary of the meeting which just happened? If I do that, it will not provide me any of the information because it does not have my organization data. Now, let's say this tenant, whatever you're seeing here, it has both. It has Copilot license as well. Now, as soon as I toggle this on, the work version, you'll see a different interface altogether. Did you see the interface changed? And now it is saying me that, hey, if you have joined some meeting or maybe you didn't join it and you accepted it, if you want to get the summary or get the summarization of the meeting or what was asked or what was important, did I miss anything? You can find all that information right here. Let me just search something, summarize slash, and as soon as I type slash, or you see that there is a pop-up or toolbox which opened, wherein you can find the information by that person, point of contact, or find the information from files or meetings or emails. Let me just search by an email, okay? And I'm just going to hit enter. Summarize Copilot the presentation, okay? This is the presentation which is on cloud. If the files are located on cloud, which is SharePoint or OneDrive, only then you'll be able to see it or refer it into your prompt box. If it is in your local systems, you will not be able to get the reference of it. So now it is providing me the information and it is not giving the references from web. Why? Because I've toggled it on. And you see the reference, it is referencing the document which is sitting inside my SharePoint or OneDrive. As soon as I hit it, you see that email which opens up. This is the email and this is the attached document. So that summary, I'm getting it. Now I hope it is clear. What is the difference between the Copilot experience, which is just, that is for free or that is for individual users, and this work experience is only for enterprises. But if you, let's say you are working or you are an entrepreneur or you want Copilot license, no matter, you don't want, your organization didn't provide you. Still, you can go ahead and purchase Copilot Pro license. If you purchase Copilot Pro license, that will be that will have similar experience, but it only covers the productivity tools. Like, let's say you use all the productivity tools like to Excel, Outlook, PowerPoint, and Word, and you don't want Teams or Stream or OneNote or Planner, all those things. Then just buy Copilot Pro license. That is for individual users. You buy it, and then you get the Copilot experience across productivity tools, along with, like, web will always be there. Whenever you see web version, that is free for all. I hope this concept is clear. Another important point, when I say that, hey, now whenever I type in the suggestions or whenever I refer the file, it is able to generate some content on top of it or provide me the summary or get me the key information from all the organization data. How it is able to do that? Let's quickly understand that. So before I go to the video, I want to cover the Microsoft Copilot architecture. Now, what it does is, ideally, Word sits inside Microsoft 365. So it is important for you all to understand how this Copilot is pictured in terms of Microsoft ecosystem. So whatever you see on the screen, let me turn on the pointer. Okay. Here, when you see that this picture has 5 steps, right? And let me go to the first step. This is the user who is typing the prompt. Now, no matter where you are typing the prompt, either it is your binge browser or right now we're talking about M365 Copilot. So let's say an example that I'm typing the prompt in Word, considering our scenario for today's session. I did type a prompt. Now what happens is this prompt goes and it is typed inside the Microsoft 365 Copilot service application. What we do is, whenever we type the prompt, this prompt is broken down as tokens. So let's say I typed a word that generate a business proposal document, keeping in mind that you take the information of Microsoft 365 Copilot. Now this whole structure is broken down in terms of tokens. Each token will be taken by the AI system. If you see, this prompt was grounded. Now it checks whether I already have some information related to it. So it will check the grounding. When I say grounding, it is using Microsoft Graph APIs, and using those, it checks that, okay, Graph, what it does, it checks your emails, your files, your meetings, and your chats, calendar, etc. Based on the prompt, it tries to find that do I already have those information in my organization? If yes, then it takes those information, give it back. Now that information is taken to the large language model. Large language model is something which is trained on a large data set. Considering those details which you had, it took that information. Now it is saying that, hey, this is the information, take this. It gives to the large language model, and based on that, the large language model receives the, based on the prompt, it receives creates the response for you. And this is always new, right? Whenever you type in the same prompt, you will get the different responses every time. So considering that in mind, it will generate a response for you, and then this will be assessed by Graph again, that whether this information is generated, do you have the permission. So just like you saw, right, the email context, when I typed in that summarize this email, did I have the access to that email so that it can summarize it? So all those security and compliance things happen behind the scenes, and later on you just get the information in few seconds. So this is how your Copilot works behind the scenes. What ideally we do is we just type in the prompt and we get the response back. While those responses might have the references either from web or from your organization data. So that is where the difference lies. So Graph will always hold your data, which is all your files, your meetings, and then you can play on top of it with Copilot as you want. This is your Copilot architecture. Now is a good time to go back and see how Copilot actually how you can work with Copilot in different tools and services. We'll quickly get started without wasting further time. Sorry for the technical glitch. I had to restart my system. Um, okay, we'll quickly cover the Copilot in Word. And for today's scenario, what we have is how to generate business document. While before I just went few minutes offline, we just were talking about the architecture of Copilot and some discussion around how Copilot in Microsoft 365 is different than Copilot. Okay, so let's just take a look at more elaborative view at Copilot in Microsoft 365. So I'll go back to my environment where I have the access, and now I'm going to do is till.office.com. This is the normal Copilot experience wherein you will find all the information residing in your organization. And let's say I want to go back and I want to type in the, let me just quickly sign in because it's just got restarted. Now let's say I want to generate the documents on top of it. How I can do that? Maybe you need to go to the Copilot for Word experience, and then you need to generate and type in the information for which you are generating the document. How was I able to do that? Before I come to my scenario, I would want to take a look at all the samples which we have in the prompt sample library. So we are going to use the same experience. I'll go to the PNP prompt. So this is the prompt library, Copilot prompts library, wherein you can also contribute. But if you want to use the already existing samples which are contributed by individual contributors, you can go to the samples, and then you can find all the samples residing here. And you'll always see that it is prefixed with, M365 or M365 with Teams or M365 with Word, M365 with PowerPoint. If not, then GitHub Copilot, etc. So you'll find all of these things here. And what we are going to do is we're going to refer this sample which I have already submitted, and then if you want, you can go ahead and take a look at it. I created the sales proposal for a sales lead with content referring from the document. Now what happens is many a times we don't want Copilot to take the data from internet or from any of the documents residing in organization and generate the content. No. You have some information because we were not used to using Copilot or AI assistants previously, right? So we have quite a lot of information residing in our org, either at a SharePoint, OneDrive, anywhere. And you want Copilot that, hey, take this information and help me generating the proposal with this. That is the beauty about Copilot. You can give anything to it, and then it will try to generate it. So if you refer the prompt which I've given, help me create a sales proposal. If you want, you can provide more context, like what is the customer, how the customer is, what is the main area of work. Either they are chemicals, or they are working for healthcare, they are working for which stream. You provide that information. Also give the context that where what this proposal is about. This proposal is about the Copilot for Microsoft 365. Now, when I provide this more context to it, it tries to understand that, hey, okay, I have to draft this, and what Copilot has to do is it has to add these all contents as well, like different SKUs of Copilot, which we just talked about: Copilot free version, Copilot Pro, Copilot M365, Copilot for Power Platform, all the SKUs of Copilots under Microsoft ecosystem. And then later on, you are asking Copilot that, hey, emphasize on only just Copilot for Microsoft 365, because our customer is not interested in GitHub Copilot or in Copilot for Power Platform. They are looking for Copilot in M365. What next you want to do? You want to add license details. You want to show how they can use prompts with different line of business like recruitment, HR, marketing, leadership, because M365 license is provided to each and every individual, right? So how they can make the most of M365 Copilot, and then they can increase their productivity or creativity or amplify any, like if they want to generate meetings, record meetings, summarize information, create a repository, they can use the best way. Later on, you provided all the details about M365 Copilot. Now, how they can go ahead and adopt Copilot if they want, and how they can do that, you are asking Copilot to add it information as well. And for all these, you are asking that, hey, please refer the content from any resource which you have. For this sample, I had the resource sitting in the PDF, so I provided the reference PDF. And then I'm saying that, hey, please do not go beyond 2 pages, because any individual loses the interest of reading if it is too wordy, right? So we are just asking Copilot to give some information based on that. So if I scroll down, see, it generated only a smaller proposal, and it has provided all the information which we asked, like benefits, SKUs, license, best practices, how it can help, like how you as an organization can help your customer in adoption journey, etc. So this is what Copilot brings into the picture. Like, it adds a lot of flavors. It's just that you should understand how to write the exact prompt and how to create the prompt so that you get the information which is required as per your scenario. If you really want to go ahead and use this sample, you can go ahead and use it as is. This is the prompt. You can pick it up, and you can refer your content, or you can refer something from which is available from internet or Microsoft documentation. You can provide that as well. You can make any changes as per your need and consume this prompt which is available. Similar to this prompt, there are many other prompts which are provided as part of this library. So I would recommend you all to go ahead and take the most benefit of the Copilot prompt sample. You can find emails which are shared by some key stakeholder. If you want to get this generated into the tabular fashion, you can do that. You can generate PPTs on top of your organization branded templates. You can do a lot of things. So all the samples you'll find, I'm sure you'll find some of the other thing which is relevant to you in the sample library. Coming back to the important aspect, I know we are all waiting for the demonstration, but I'll quickly cover. If you want to contribute, let's say you have already drafted some prompt which is unique, and you assume that this might be beneficial for a lot of other people, then why not you go ahead and start contributing to it? The contribution to sample library is pretty straightforward. You have to go to the Copilot prompts, just like probably I'll type in Parth can help you with the information later. We'll type it in the comment box. You can go to the GitHub library, and then you'll find the documentation that how you can go ahead and contribute. So you'll see how to use this repository. You just have to clone this and add your own files with the demonstration, etc. Once that is done, key stakeholder from for the owner of the GitHub library will just approve your pull request, and then you're good to go. People can view your prompt samples, and who knows, you can earn a beautiful PNP badge for it as well. So just for your exploration purpose, go ahead, try it out, and then also try to contribute to the sample gallery as much as you can. Coming back to the slides which we had for today. Okay. So we talked about the sample which I had contributed, and I'm going to leverage the same example for demonstration as well. Copilot in Word helps you in three different contexts. One is draft with Copilot, other is transform with Copilot, and other is chat with Copilot. So when I say draft with Copilot, what happens is, whenever you go to the Word experience, we'll see a draft with Copilot prompt box. This box is just like your normal chat assistant, which we see either in Copilot applications or which we just saw in the copilot.microsoft.com experience. Here, what you're going to do is you're going to type in a prompt which will help you generate something fresh and new. Just like what I showcased in the sample, as it is, take that prompt, add it here, reference it from the file, give the references, and then hit generate. You're good to go. That is what Draft with Copilot helps you to do. All you need to keep in mind is you need to provide the description. Like the prompt should be in the, it should have more context. If you just write that, hey, generate the document for Microsoft for 365, if you just type in that much, maybe you will not end up getting uh, really good response from the Copilot because let's say your intention was to get different kind of licenses, different SKUs in a tabular format, all those. But it just gave you that, hey, this is Microsoft 365 Copilot. You can use it in Word, you can use it in PowerPoint. That is what it just gave you, and that was not your intention. So whenever possible, try to give the context to your prompts so that it understands what exactly you need from your Copilot. Okay. This is the draft with Copilot version, wherein we'll go and see there are different options when it generates the response. Either you can keep it, or let's say you're not satisfied with the response, you can ask Copilot to regenerate as well. So that is possible. Now let's say you've already drafted the prompt here, and the Copilot generated some response. Now you just recollected that, hey, I missed adding this one point. You want to add that. You can do that as well. What Copilot will do is Copilot will consider that as a new prompt and then it will generate the content for you. Going ahead with the transform with Copilot. Now, what happens is many a times, like this is what I have personally experienced. So we have a lot of documents which are already generated. We don't want to generate something fresh and new every time, right? We have some requirement documents, some proposals, anything which is sitting inside your uh, cloud. Now, what you want to do is that document is too wordy, or maybe it is spanning 10 pages or more than 10 pages, 15 pages, or it is like too big for anyone to read. So, what we can do is we can ask Copilot to transform. Now, transform means whatever is existing, you want that to be updated. So, just like what you see in the example, which is showcased here, there was the paragraph with the bulleted points. Now, what I'm doing is I'm asking Copilot that, hey, visualize this as a table. For that, what you have to do is it is not just about visualizing it in the format of a table, but you can do a lot of more things. I can select the content for which I want to transform. So I can ask Copilot that, hey, take this content, select it, and then provide the prompt. What do you want to do for with this selected text that you have to provide? That is what transformation is about. You can also, let's say, many a times we have written something in a different tone. Now I want to ask Copilot that, hey, please add this in a professional tone, or make it look like some customer specific document. You can do that with the help of transformation. Next is chat with Copilot. So those two options which we just now saw will help you in increasing your productivity or add your creativity layer so that your documentations reflects your personality, right? Whenever you take this document, any person who is going to read it, they know, okay, these are the key personas, these are the key things which I have to take a look at, and this is not too wordy, or this is in the crisp and concise manner, just like how you would like to read it. Chat with Copilot is a different story. Now, what happens is, as I mentioned, we have a lot of documents which are already sitting, and now those documents are too big, and you are not able to find that information. For that, you will have to read 5 to 6 pages, and then, hey, this is residing here. You can use Chat with Copilot experience there, wherein you can ask a question. Let's say I am in the this page where we are at. I've opened the chat experience, and I am asking. Consider this is the Word file about talking about M365 Copilot. Now, I don't know whether I can use Copilot in OneNote or not. For that, I'll have to read the whole document, right? What I can do is I can ask in the Copilot chat experience that, can I use Copilot in OneNote? And what it will do is it will go to your document, full document, and it will try to find that information, whether that information exists or not. If it exists, then it will give you back the information. So let's say many a times we are drafting the milestones for projects, etc. And now you totally forgot that what was the timeline given for development, or what was the timeline given for testing, or how much time was allocated for design or POC purpose. Now you can ask Copilot directly without even going through the documents and without even going through anything. You can ask Copilot that, hey, can you provide me the timeline summary? And then it will just provide you the information within a tabular format or simple 3 to 4 bullet points, and you're done. You have the information right there. Also, if your document is too wordy, make sure to use draft with Copilot experience and use summarizes doc. Whenever someone will go to the documentation, there will always be a summary residing at the top, and they can go and use or read this. Maybe not everyone has the Copilot license, right? So it is a good practice that any documents which are too wordy, use draft with Copilot, summarize, create the summary, and then paste it at the top and just label or assign the key as summary of this document. So anyone can go ahead and take a look at the summary before they read in depth. These are the three experiences which we are going to explore together in Copilot in Word. And what you can do with Copilot in Word, these are the ideas which you can play with just for your reference, like draft with Copilot. You can ask Copilot about the document from the chat experience. You can ask Copilot for information that's not inside the document, right? These are the three scenarios which you can try. So whenever I say draft with Copilot, there are few ideas like use this Copilot prompt in the canvas to request content for any of these samples, like creating an article for your team or creating the business plan for a new application or a project which a team is working on, create the marketing plan for some marketing team, or create the cover letter. These are the sample examples which you can pick with draft with Copilot. Rest is ask. So let's say I want to summarize the document, or I want to check whether there is anything which is assigned to me and that is noted down in the document. That is what call to action is about, and listing down the key important points. Also, you can ask Copilot for info that's not in the document. So I need a chocolate chip cookie recipe. So it will generate on the fly using the web data. Give me an example of a haiku about Contoso coffee, which is definitely not in your, if it is not in your document, then it will provide that information. Also, you can ask it to generate in the tabular format if you have some paragraphs which Copilot is going to generate in the response. Now, similar ideas, if you want to go ahead and explore, we'll go to Copilot Lab experience. Let me go to the Copilot. So always fall back to the Copilot Lab, and I am sure you will have the samples for it for each and every scenario. So I am in Copilot Lab. I'm going to sign in. Okay, I need to authenticate it. Just a second. As soon as this authentication is done, we'll be landing straight to, okay, we are in Copilot Lab. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the prompts to try. Here you'll see a really nice experience wherein if you want to use some prompts either for Word, either for PowerPoint or OneNote or Loop, you can find those based on the application which you are using right now. So as soon as you click on the app, you see I can use Copilot in all these experiences. It is not just Word, not just PowerPoint, but we'll consider today Word. And here you'll find all the samples like summarizing, who are the key stakeholders, improvise this document. This is what I was talking about, transformation. We are not drafting something fresh and new, we are improvising the already created document. List down the pros and cons, understanding some content quickly. As soon as you click on one of the prompt, you'll see an experience wherein you can straight away copy the prompt. You copy it, and let's go to our, okay, it should have been refreshed by now. We'll go to the Word experience. Okay, let's go to the Copilot. I'll go to the Word and we'll just paste. I'm going to go to the blank document. And now you see there is an option for you which says draft with Copilot, and there is a Copilot chat experience. There are two important takeaways which you need to keep in mind. If your word is not already on autosave, then you'll not be able to, probably this might be disabled even though you have license. So make sure this autosave is already always on for you to go ahead and see the Copilot experience in any of the services, either Word, PowerPoint, etc. We'll quickly go to the draft with Copilot, and here you will see the experience. I'm going to paste the exact prompt which I have written, which I have copied. But now, if you see this prompt is elaborating or intending to already create a document wherein we are saying that explain this document in three sentences. Now, this is not our intention, right? We want to generate something fresh and new with draft with Copilot. Here we'll pick the as is scenario which I have picked up. I'm going to copy the prompt and I'm not going to refer it from any content. Just for the starter purpose, I'm going to pick the prompt. I'm going to type in and I'm not going to give reference. Okay. And I'm going to hit generate. Let's see what it does. And we did ask Copilot to generate it in less than 2 pages, right? But it didn't cross two. It just used some bit, but it did follow some of our instructions. Now, if you see the agenda here, it did add almost everything, even without me providing any of the information. It went to the internet, or it would have referred some of my files if there is anything sitting in my organization related to it, and it generated the fresh new content. What it covers is it provided the title, some short description, different SKUs of Copilot, the license details, how you can use prompts with it. If you are looking to prepare your organization for Copilot, how you can manage the Copilot, implementation and adoption, and the final conclusion, right? So this was our intention. And if you really want to take a look at the prompt which you drafted again, you can go to the edit button and then you can add more information here. Maybe let's add some information around security and compliance while working with Copilot in Microsoft 365. Now I'm going to hit generate and let's see what happens. See, whatever content which was generated, it is going to draft fresh new based on the improvised prompt. So it is not like, hey, I have given the prompt, now you have to keep it. No. If you intend to keep it, then keep. If it matches your expectation, then keep it. If not, then maybe you generate or update your prompt in a more precise manner and let Copilot do its magic. So again, did it add security compliance? Yes. And what it is showing me when working with Copilot, there's a robust amount of security, and these are the threat protection compliance tools, etc. And again, let's say you're not happy with the response which Copilot has provided, make sure to give more context and make sure to give references so that it understands that hey, you are looking for this Copilot and this security thing. Just provide that information, and then it will help you generate in a more uh, satisfied manner. So this is what draft with Copilot helps you to do. Now going back again to the draft experience, there is a two good reactions which you can consider, like and dislike. Now why this is important? Whenever you use Copilot experience, it is if you have few minutes to spare, if the Copilot helped you to generate content which was as per your intention, maybe good to give it a like, because like as in thumbs up, so that the LLM models understand how precise your response it was able to generate. Now, whenever you react to thumbs down, means it didn't mark meet up to your expectations. So, whenever any team, engineering team, which is working behind the scenes, they might be working on few of the other backlog items wherein they are trying to improvise something related to the Copilot in Word, and who knows, your this suggestion can help them to come up with more such features which are helpful for the broader audience. So always it is intended to just add a thumbs up or thumbs down so that Copilot experience understands whether your response was correctly provided by Copilot or not. Also, there are a few options here to keep it, to regenerate, and to delete it. So keep it is basically as soon as I select keep it option, this grade or selected content will sit in my Word, and now you can play with this Word document howsoever you want to. Regenerate will again generate the content for me. Delete will delete the content altogether. Right now I'm going to keep it. Okay. Now this is the content is generated as per our expectation. Now I'm going to select. Let's do few things. How to use prompt. I'm going to select this and I'm going to click on the Copilot icon again. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to write a prompt. I don't want to visualize as a table, but we could have done that just for the starter purpose. Let's hit visualize as a table. Okay, it generated the information. Now, what Copilot does is it will never delete anything or any information from your Word document. It will keep the selected content as is. Even if I select keep it, it will keep the original content. It will never lose any of the information. You will never lose any of the information from here. Now it is up to you whether you want to really keep it or delete it. That is up to your command. You can go ahead straightforward delete it as well. It generated in the tabular format, but it is not as per my expectation. I'm going to delete this right now. Hit delete. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave it as it is. I'm going to select this again. I'm going to write a prompt, generate this in less than one line with example. Now I don't want this big how to use prompt. I want it in a simple straightforward line. Use prompts like draft a summary. That's it. Anyone can understand what prompt is and the example is also covered and you can do it. I want to keep this and I want to remove this. Now I can remove it as per my will. You can do a lot of other things. Maybe you want to visualize it in the bullet format, or if you want to create a list format, you can do all of those things with transformation. Next is Copilot chat experience. Now, Copilot chat is built, as I mentioned. What you are doing here is you are going to ask Copilot chat to give some information. Now, I didn't read this document, right? We have just created it fresh. What is the security layer in Microsoft 365 Copilot? Let's type in and see what it is generating. So here we are not going to generate anything. It will always fetch the information from the existing document. So what Copilot responded me with is, I can help with that query, and from my document it was able to get this information. And you'll also find the indentions. So see, if I go to this line, you can see that, hey, this is the document which from where it is able to find the information. The first layer where did this went inside this document, and the third indentation reference is from introduction. So if you see that, hey, from a document I can see this information from your company, this is the information which you should keep in mind, etc. I would type in, whenever you type in any query, immediately you will find the suggestions based on that provided by Microsoft Copilot in Word itself. So I have never used this prompt at all in my Word experience, but based on the query which I selected in and based on the response, Copilot is suggesting some prompt samples. Now what we can do is here you can also manage search. So now just like what we did is we just are asking Copilot that, hey, you should only get the information from this document and nowhere else. Another important thing, you see search and plugins is turned to on. Now that is what we talked about in the previous slide when we just saw that taking the content outside from the document, right? What is a chocolate cookie? Let's search. Because the web plugin is on, it will give me some information. See, it is providing me some information which is not part of the document as well. Now let's turn this off and search the same query. Or maybe, what is a chocolate? It's coffee. We'll search something else. What is coffee? Okay. It shouldn't have generated, but it did generate. Okay. Now, what it is doing is another important aspect, which I would have missed covering it. If you see that what is a coffee and find me the different flavors of coffee, hit enter. I'll quickly cover what it is trying to do. Okay. I have toggled the web search or web plugin as off, but we have few documents residing in my organization. This Copilot chat experience, if you observe, when I searched about the context which was different from M365 Copilot, it went to the grounded data, which is graph grounded data like my files, my meetings, my chat, and my documents. It found some information around coffee. There is a document which is sitting. If I refer it, you will find that information in the other document. That document is purely talking about coffees and the different kind of coffee beans which are found in India and the different flavors of coffees. So if I go here, oh, it isn't. It shouldn't have responded. I don't know. Let's check back again. The okay. Sometimes Copilot. Okay. So here the reference was incorrect in the previous responses, but I do have a file, welcome to the fourth coffee. This was generated, I was trying to generate the template for a coffee uh, shop, which I'm trying to open. And then this is the templatized format, what all different type of coffee flavors that coffee shop is going to offer, the rewards, etc. So this was generated with that intention. And now when I searched by coffee or anything related to the coffee, it was able to grab the information from that document. So if you see, if I scroll down again, the reference here was correct. It is generating it from the other document and not from this document. So keep in mind whenever you are typing in or searching in anything in the Copilot experience, Copilot chat experience, and right now I would restrict it to Copilot for Word chat experience. If you are typing in something related to any other document, or maybe if there is already some similar scenario or content residing anywhere, then you will be able to get the information because it is located on cloud. If you don't have permission to that document, let's say I wouldn't have had the permission for fourth coffee, then I would never get the information back. So there might be few files which are generated by different users, but I can't access that. So I can only access content which, Copilot will only give me the response for the content which I can access. Let me type in something. What is what are the tourist attractions in India? Let's search by this and let's see whether Copilot is really working without web experience and it is able to find some information from me or not. Okay, it is providing me some information. Let's see from where this is getting generated. Okay, this got generated and it was generated by AI purely. No web results, no in-house or tenant organization data. It purely generated based on the like LLM models are trained with some data, so it is AI generated response purely, no reference at all. So this ideally works. Now, key important aspect is as soon as you type in or start typing in your prompts, you'll get the suggestions based on it. I hope you understood about the plugins. But another important thing is if you don't want to switch between two interfaces like Copilot in Lab or Copilot like Copilot Lab prompt examples, etc., you can directly go to the view prompts here, and here Copilot helps you to uh, with different things, like either if you want to understand, like what is your intention, do you want to ask something or do you want to understand, or you want to just look at the different prompts. As soon as you click on view more prompts, you can find the same experience which we saw in the Copilot lab. Just give it a minute for it to load. Think it should. Okay, the experience. We'll go again. Some glitch I'm facing today with Copilot. We'll go to the prompts. I'm going to going inside the understand section, and here you can find all the information, like what do you want to do. You want to summarize, list the pros and cons, what are the important deadlines or milestones, the key stakeholders. I'm going to do what list the pros and cons. And as soon as I type in, the prompt will be typed in the chat assistant. List the pros and cons of using Copilot for Microsoft 365. And as you see from the documentation, it generated the pros and cons, and everything will be referenced from the same file which we have generated. These are the cons and the issues, like what issues can be faced. You need training, you need to train your team, etc. The pros: collaboration, customization, productivity, and all of those information. So if you directly want to use the sample prompts, you can go ahead and consume it right from the view prompts. You can ask information as well. And if you want to elaborate your sample experience, like you don't find all the samples here, but anytime you can fall back to the Copilot lab and you can find all the samples right here. Either it is creating the job description, strategy, investment planning, and not just restricted for one application, but also for the different apps. Like consider Planner. You can use Copilot in Planner. You can perform a lot of these things. If I want to switch to Teams experience, what you can do inside Copilot, what you can do with Copilot in Teams, you can find all those. Also with the stream videos, you can find for all the experience for here. Coming back to the slides, and I think we have almost covered everything. Last just few important bits, limitations. So as you already, I'm not sure how many of you have already started using Copilot experience in your M365 licenses, but these are the known limitations of your Copilot in Word. Only we're talking about Word as of now. This may not work well with smart art. Smart arts doesn't work well with. I've tried it myself. Even charts, it doesn't work well. Tables, it still work, but depends how big your table structure is and how is your table structure. Like if it is simple structured table without merging different columns and rows, it works fine. Next is Copilot currently supports fewer languages, and that you can see with the reference link how many language it supports. And Copilot is limited in the number of words it can process per prompt. So whenever we also attach the references, even when I'm typing the prompt, and in the prompt, if you're attaching the reference, the document will have some count, right? The word count. So that limitation still is there, and maybe Microsoft is working hard to just provide us with the bigger worded documents so that this works well with those documents as well. So hence it is mandated that you should keep your documents short and sweet and refer those in your prompts as well. Another important thing, the content of the chat isn't saved. So whenever you type in or the prompts in the Copilot chat experience, those prompts are not saved. The content is also not saved. So if you want to refer back to the previous conversations or interactions, let's say I conversed with Copilot chat experience in Word day before yesterday, but I don't see any of it inside it right now. Let me go back and we can quickly check in the Word. You see the Copilot experience, whatever I'm conversing with live for today, see, it just went away. I don't see any of the bits here. So you don't get the conversation stored. these are the known limitations, and Microsoft, if releases anything on this, maybe you can stay up to date with the blogs which Microsoft keeps on releasing it around Copilot experience, either in Word, PowerPoint, or any Copilot experience in any of the applications. So this covers the Copilot in Word, and I'm sure the sample we have already walked, I've already walked this through, and you can already start contributing to the samples. But if not, if contribution is something very huge for you right now and you just want to give it a try, please go ahead, try out the sample key prompts which are provided in the lab or in the sample libraries, and then make the best of prompts, and I'm sure it will help you increase your productivity. And I can't wait to see what you are going to contribute in future in terms of your customized prompts. I'm waiting to see that gallery grow. Thank you everyone for listening so patiently. And if you have any questions, maybe I can take that up now.
Yes, hi. So there is a question like when this feature will be available. I think it's already available
It's
across,
already
right?
available. Yes.
Yeah, yeah. So yes, any questions? Final call to drop all your questions in the comment section. I don't think we have questions coming in today. Okay. Uh,
Okay, before we drop off the call, thank you so much, Parth, for your time. And I'm really sad about the technical glitch which happened, and it took few minutes. But
happens.
it's yeah, no worries there. Thank you for staying so late, at least for 1 hour, and listening to me. And any more questions probably will be addressed later. Thanks, Parth. You as
Sure.
well.
Sure. Sure. Thank you everyone. And also, please go through the link shared in the comment section. It will help you all to take your learning further. And yes, thank you all once again. Thank you so much. Hope you all have a great evening.